Hi, I'm Danny Ecker in Chicago Business Today, the future of Illinois hospitals. Governor Quinn's proposal to cut $2.7 billion from the state's Medicaid program sparked outcry last week as it threatens to squeeze some Chicago hospitals in low-income areas and jeopardize the lives of their patients. It's a restructuring that could create issues for groups like the Cook County Health and Hospital System, whose CEO points to Medicaid's importance beyond just health care for the uninsured.
We are not just a safety net for the medically indigent, mentally ill, recently incarcerated, substance abuse people. We are the safety net for the high-end medical centers in this country because we are keeping the patients on our side of the street.
In the meantime, the state is also trying to salvage cash by going after tax dollars from hospitals that don't offer enough free health care, highlighting a system where access to treatment often depends on income, race, and neighborhood. I sat down with UIC professor and healthcare economist Robert Kestner to talk about how the cost-cutting measures may play out and their impact on Chicago's hospitals and patients. You've got two revenue streams here that Governor Quinn's trying to tap into. On one hand, these cuts to Medicaid, which would have a significant impact. On the other hand, he's going after tax dollars from these more affluent hospitals. Which carries more weight and why?
Well, Medicaid is really the big cost driver for the state finances. It's $16 billion total dollars, $8 billion come from the state. The tax exemption for nonprofit hospitals is significant, but much smaller than that $8 billion state cost for Medicaid. So to really get the budget in shape or to try to address the fiscal imbalance, Medicaid is really where the money is at.
How realistic do you think it is that these cuts go through?
$2.7 billion is a big number, and the problem is Medicaid grows 7% a year, about 7%. State revenues grow 3% per year over even good times, over a long period, so you see the imbalance. Medicaid's growing faster than state revenues. Medicaid's taking up a bigger and bigger share of the state budget. So to cut $2.7 billion, I think, is unrealistic. There are things that can be done around the margin, but not to the tune of $2.7 billion on a base of $8 billion or even on the base of $16 billion.
It's no easy job for the General Assembly here.
No, they're going to talk about things like managed care, cutting providers, trimming eligibility a little bit, and these are all possible things that can save money, but I guess the $2.7 billion might be trying to motivate some cuts.
So as we sit here today, how do you handicap this? How do you, what are you expecting to say? Do you believe that some of the state's financial issues are going to be resolved on the backs of Medicaid patients and on affluent hospitals?
Well, I'm not a political scientist, but history is the best predictor of the future, and the state has had a practice of muddling through. I believe probably some cuts will happen in Medicaid. There'll be some reductions in provider payments. I don't think the tax exemption will pass. So I think, again, there'll be some marginal changes around the edges, but that won't fully address what they call the structural problem going forward. So we'll revisit this problem soon, if not next year again. So.
All right, Robert.
Well,
great. Thanks for the time. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
And that's this edition of Chicago Business Today. For more on the healthcare industry, visit chicagohealthcaredaily.com. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.